They told us in the first half, boys. They said we weren't going to have the 0.25. They said we were wrong. They said this. They said that. But look who's right. Once again, they wanted the douche. They got the douche. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is jump right into the Nasdaq, go over the charts. Now, actually, pause. Time out. What we're gonna do is talk about what Powell said. And if we look at what Powell said, let's keep it really simple. What did we think was gonna happen? We knew a point two. We knew for facts we're gonna come out with the 0.25 hike. That's what we knew was gonna happen. From that point, then it came out to what was his tone going to be, because we didn't think that the rate hike would be the most important part there. We knew it would be his tone and what he said after. Then we know tomorrow is really like Armageddon. Really, like today was like a news report. Tomorrow's Armageddon with Amazon, Apple, Google reporting. So going in tonight and going into the market today, Powell was talking specifically about what's happening with inflation and the numbers. What did he say? He said basically every area is showing improvement on the market. He used the words that we're seeing inflation actually go down. So we're finally seeing the results of the tools that they're using. He said they're going to proceed slowing down, but he did not feel comfortable pausing yet, right? That's the only thing he said. He said they still see it coming, and they'll have another big update on where they see rates going at the next meeting. So I think that's going to be, I think next meeting will be extremely, extremely important. Following through this though, that's the main thing that was said. After that, you didn't really care about anything else he said. He said, inflation's going down. We like what's happening, and going forward, we'll talk about it there. There's nothing else to talk about. He did mention what was happening with the debt ceiling and said there's only one outcome from this, is that the Republicans basically bail out the United States and let them pay what they have to pay. The end, right? That's it. They have to do it. He didn't say anything else beyond that point. Now, as we look at what's happening in the market, let's talk about it. What did we say yesterday? We said it was real simple. We said, first of all, you have a clear bull flag here on the daily. You have that forming here on what's happening with the Nasdaq. It was extremely clear. You were flagging, mounted on top of the 200 daily moving average on the Nasdaq. But we said ultimately it would come down to the tone of Powell. All day long, we pushed up. All day long, we had that upside pressure. And then as we look right now, you're breaking out. So the key thing here is showing you some levels that I'll be looking at. And you know what? Again, long term, do I think our inflation has been resolved? I do not. I want to say that right now. I do not believe it's been resolved. I think we still have pain down the road. Short term, though, we have to trade what we're given. If you're a day trader, you trade what you are given. By the way, yesterday, did you like those? Did you like those plays we talked about? Did y'all like those? Did you like AMD? What about Boeing? Did you like Boeing? Well, we have some more of those coming up as always, right? We love when people come to the channel with nothing but hate. You know why? Because it inspires us to continue to be the best at what we do here, right? Right? People always say you're cocky. I'm like, no, I just have confidence in what I do here, right? That's the point. If I was cocky and arrogant and I want to be pompous, I'd show you the bank account on repeat and show you the daily gains, but I don't, because I just, that's not the reason for what's happening here. Now, let's look at what's happening. We have that clear channel. We're still in. Spoiler alert, who would have thought, right? Been in the same channel and you just touched the tip of it right now, right? Just the tip. Now you're moving up and you're pushing up through. Now I want to zoom out really quick and go over some, the bears, people that are bearish out there, you're going to hate me. Okay. You're going to hate this, but listen up. In my opinion, next target minimum 12.6. But I think you have room all the way up to around 12.9. And we remember how big of a level that was before. 12.9, you could see how that was an SR flip right here. And then you broke through and rejected, came back down. So 12.6, 12.9. 12.6 minimum going into tomorrow with decent earnings tonight. Now with earnings tonight, what are we looking at? Tonight, what do we have? We have Meta. Facebook will be important. I'm going to tell you why here in a second. And then I believe, no, you have QCOM tomorrow. Whoops, I thought we had QCOM today. ELF, they're going to be, it's like basically like another version of Ulta. Now, when we look at what's happening with Meta, this is going to set the tone for Google. Snapchat already kind of set that tone, but in my opinion, this will be pretty important. Right? Meta's had a monster run, kind of unbelievable, if you will. If there's any stock, in my opinion, that should be going down, it's Meta. I hate the company. I don't think they have a long-term success plan. If we look at companies that are thriving right now and the companies that we love, it's the ones that are taking advantage of this situation. When we look at long-term stocks and we look at growth in companies, I just really look around at what everyone's doing. Google's taken advantage of COVID to become an at-home, basically everything. If you're thinking about anything that you're watching on your phone, Google is trying to dominate in that area. YouTube TV, YouTube Music, normal YouTube Shorts. They're trying to be in every facility there. And really think about what's happened over the past 2 years with Google, or YouTube specifically. It used to just be YouTube, the end. Regular old YouTube, vlogs and, little tutorials on what you need to learn real quick. But Google has completely changed the game with YouTube. It's across the board way better. Then on top, everything they're doing with Google. Now, as we go deeper, then you have Apple and you have QCOM. I think QCOM will be important for our chip plays. Again, going back to AMD, which God bless America. AMD was nothing short of amazing, and we continue on this amazing run. So that's what I'm looking at. Right now, I'm going to tell you right now, though, my favorite one right here, Google. Right? I mean, you couldn't just tell by that entire little speech I gave, right? So let's go over, look at some stocks. Now, again, this is what we're looking at. Man, dude, you're just a bull. Like, you really are. You're just holding up great. You're going to continue. Pal's probably still talking. I got to go get a haircut here in a second. That's why I look terrible right now. But again, we got to, clean ourselves up so we can still look presentable and great here. Now, let's go over some stocks we like. We don't have an extreme amount of time to cover everything here right now. ES also, you've mounted 4,100. As long as you're above 4,100, you are targeting locally around 42, and then possibly in the short term 41.6, which you're probably going to hit really soon. So again, the market, absolutely love it. Going into some stocks we're liking. First up, number one, numero uno. We're going to go really quick to around the 2-hour time frame so you can get a better visual here. As we look at what's happening here on Google. Now, again, they have earnings, so really this can just totally just be thrown in the trash can if their earnings report terrible. And honestly, they could. I'm just going to tell you right now, they could be getting destroyed. But you're in a clear ascending triangle if you break and hold above 100, which you're already breaking 100, but there's a lot of momentum right now. If you can mount 100, in my opinion, your next target is going to be around 105. Why 105 specifically? I'm going to tell you right now. Again, it's been the 200 moving average. And if you've been here for any time at all, what do we know? The 200 moving average on the daily is a bitch to get above, and when you do, it does wondrous things, but it's also a magnet. It's very important to know. So if you can get back to this 200 SMA around 104.8 to 105, I think you're in action. I definitely think you have room up to there, and you also have that pretty little gap up there. So worth mentioning, things I am looking at. Diving a little bit deeper. Now, AMD, I just told Discord this ship has 100% sailed. Like, I don't think this is a buying opportunity here. But what are we looking at here? If we look at AMD, I want to show you something here on the weekly. If we go to the weekly, you can see there is a clear cut, no nonsense supply zone here. This is clearly a supply. Okay. But if you get above 85, if you mount 85, let me tell you, at that point, I have to start contemplating life decisions, because if you get above 85, you have a clear path of zero liquidity, short term to 93, just on the short term, right? That's not even too aggressive. I mean, you really have room up to 103, 105, but I'm going to say just, short term, easy target, 93, 94. So there's actually still room, which is bizarre, but you want to see a mount above 85. What did I tell you yesterday? I said, if you get above 80, where are you going? Up. Easy money. Before we even had the PAL speech, this thing was already pushing 84. So no nonsense there. Microsoft is, man, I loved Microsoft really before PAL talked. And then PAL started talking and Microsoft went bananas. And now I'm like, do I want to mess with Microsoft? However, Microsoft, I believe, is a dog. And I'm not talking about a dog when you learn about finances. You have your stars, your cash cow type stocks and dogs and all these. No, we're not talking about that. This isn't financial class in college, right? I took that for you, so don't worry. But when we look at this, man, it's got to get you excited. What are we talking about here first? So what I'm going to do, I got to zoom out because I want to get rid of some of these lines for you, but you were in a clear-cut downtrend that you've been really in for some time. You're trying to break out of it. On top of that, when we look a little bit deeper, when I give you that 200 SMA, remember we just talked about it? Look at where you're at and how you're moving. Right to the tick. You get rejected. But what did Microsoft announce today? They announced today that they're going to be implementing ChatGPT into their Bing searches. Also, ChatGPT just announced a $20 tier subscription to kind of bypass any wait times, which honestly, I'll probably end up getting, because ChatGPT, if you own any sort of business at all, it's literally just awesome. And whether I'm writing emails, whether we're writing newsletters, whether we're making or proof checking tweets, whether I'm making a thumbnail title for YouTube, ChatGPT kind of has been a lifesaver, time saver, above and beyond, especially for small businesses like option drops here, right? Where we try to help the average day trader like yourself. So as we dive deeper, I think honestly, now you're going into that area where I said, if things happen perfect as far as earnings and what would happen from Powell, which Powell, like, I don't think anything could have really went bad, but as we look at it, it's happening exactly like we wanted to. So I have to imagine going in, if we get great earnings, I'm telling you, I really do believe you could see Microsoft start pushing back to 261 all the way up to 264, right? Previous highs. And then the possibility comes into play is of your daily gap all the way at 265. So again, I believe Microsoft has a real potential to start getting parabolic in the short term, right? It wanted to run all day, but it couldn't based on what was happening with the Fed meeting. And then once the Fed meeting was over, boom, instantly. Almost, I believe it was like $5-6 of upside just off the bat. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm watching. Again, today's video, I couldn't keep it really long. I have to get out of here. I'm extremely happy. Quick recap of Boeing. Remember I told you yesterday, favorite play. Boom, shakalaka. This morning went straight to 218. You woke up, you could have entered immediately and it went straight up. It literally opened up, I think on the day at like 212. So congratulations. Love you guys. More stuff coming out. Again, you are the best and you're the reason I keep coming back. More content is coming. Have a good one, traders.